Stream should be live. I do not know if it is. It might or it might not be.
I can give you a verdict. The stream is open.
I'm having some issues on my end, so I think they'll be fixed soon. Okay, we're good, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
No shows and Dennis are missing.
Also, I need to get the standings up for my data, and I also need to get the Discord thing open. So, like, the tier chat, so I know what on earth is going on. And then, in that bit of the screen, I put the stream so I can see the chat. And then, not that window, but...
I've invited Dennis like 6 times.
And then I go to standings, and then I get the standings up on my second screen. Oh wait, I already have them open. So then I put that in the corner.
Don't know what I do. I get the YouTube link and ping it to people. Okay. I've crashed my YouTube. Doesn't matter. My game's not broke.
Okay. How many minutes until we go?
We're waiting for a response from Noah Shields. If no response, we're going.
Okay.
I'm talking 2 minutes max.
So, who have we got in the lobby? So we've got Mitch, who unfortunately had a DNF last race, however scored 3 points in the sprint, so is currently P11 in the standings, but actually has points on the board. And then there's some others that I think have joined this week and aren't on the standings, unless the username has been changed.
Yeah, there is a few that have joined this week.
Okay. Now we've got Arjun's in the lobby after scoring P2 last time out, after penalties were applied. And was on 23 points when you add the 5 points from the sprint.
Are you meant to be showing this because it just says starting soon?
I can change it.
I was just wondering.
Why is it showing a black screen? Okay, OBS has finally fixed it now. You can see everything in the lobby. And we can also check out my other key bindings. Good. They work. I need to just... Oh, I'm selected on the wrong tab on Discord. I'll fix that quickly. So we'll go back to the intermission screen. And then now we can go back into the thing.
I love it how I'm so much more organised this week.
Nice.
As well. Like, I've got Discord open, I've got the stream chat open, I've got all the statistics for the stream. We've got 13 people in the lobby, 2 people missing, but we know Ennis is on the way.
They readied up before the timer hit 0. We need some smiley faces in chat.
Oh, that connection was quick.
This is...
What the hell?
Okay, now I'm in the... And I'm in and it's already 10 seconds down. Have they patched the game to be quicker today? Or do we just have 13 people with incredibly quick internet?
I don't have any leaderboards.
I'm fine.
That's fine. That's fine, but I might not be fine.
Uh-oh.
If I'm not fine, I will literally or watch a screen. I can watch the stream.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not leaving this lobby. Oh no, I'm in. I'm in.
Oh, the timer's reset now.
Yeah, you were just really quick.
I don't know what
Wow.
was going on. There's
It's very
7
quiet.
people in chat watching and only 1 like, which is a ratio, or a percentage actually, not a ratio, of 14 point... Is it 285? I forgot the divide by 7 pattern. But we have a Red Bull coming out onto track, which is
It's Mitch.
Mitch. Who
Nice.
we'll ride on board with for the first run, as he's the first driver on track to make it out. Have you ever done a race at China on this game?
Nope.
I did.
This week will be my first.
I did a 100% race on the day it came out, and I haven't touched it since.
Nice. Adam says it's always Mitch's first day because he doesn't use setups. You're actually wrong, Adam. He does use setups. He only did setups like a month ago, so it explains. Oh, hello. Oh, he's caught that nice.
Maybe it's not the ideal setup, but we've seen some good skill from him there.
He's now just staying out the way while there's a car. He's also a bit stuck in the gravel, I think.
No, he's out now.
I know it's invalidated him. That's the no
Nice camera
setup
angle
line.
game.
Is Mitch okay?
I don't know. You can't drive through there, mate. Everyone's on an outlap, Mitch. Don't worry about blocking them. And he's back on track. Although the car has got quite a bit of mud on it. Although I don't think the mud is actually simulated in the game.
So, David Hoy's going to be the first for a lap then, in the house.
Should be right on board with him.
Yeah, we'll go for David.
So he's just making his way out of the final corner now, using 5th gear, getting good traction. I think that's how it's said. And
yeah.
I'm going into the tricky turn 1, which I had to do like 50 something times in that 100% race of pain. Does it slows down a bit too much and picks up a bit too much rotation, and then it's now into a really tricky traction zone, but does it very nicely, and is now heading down into whatever turn number this is, the hairpin. Shifts down to 3rd on the throttle and gets a strong exit, which will be critical for the fast left-hander, which he does a small lift for, 2 small lifts in fact, and is now going into whatever this turn is, and now into one of the pain corners of this track, short shifting into 5th to minimise the wheel spin, and now using a bit of the curb on exit, now into another slow, snaily and painful bit because the traction is so difficult. Short shifting up all the way up to 5th for the long right-hander. The rear's a bit loose, taking a bit more inside curb than I think he would have wanted. But he now goes onto the main straight, which is over a kilometre long, opening the rear wing and doing 326, 27, 28 and 330 k's an hour going into the hairpin, slowing down into 3rd gear, getting on the throttle, making his way down into the final corner, down to 5th. It's a good exit, and he's going to cross the line, and this is a 33-1. And I do not remember if that's a good lap.
It's a decent time, to be fair, yeah. It's actually pretty good.
Should we go back to Mitch? See how he's doing.
I think he's fun.
I think he's invalidated.
Harry Pell does a 34-1, and Carmack goes 33-9. David 8 tenths ahead already.
That's a pretty good margin.
Well, we know Harley from last week was rapid.
Yeah.
And Ennis has made it. That's nice.
Harley's already in the pits, so I think he might have aborted his first run.
Arjun jumps to 2nd. What about staying here? P6 34-3, and slowest time so far, but that's not to say that's where he's going to finish, as the Alpine are one of the new drivers of Habelski. Jumps to P4. As
I'm looking at the tyres now, and no one's gone for the mediums on their bankers. So either they'd rather have 2 sets of mediums, brand new mediums for the race, and no softs, or they just selected the softer allocation.
We have Mike Atherton comes across the line with a 35.9.
And that's not a
Who's
great
going to
lap.
be next? Not Callum. Not. Who is it? Is it Mitch? No, Mitch is parked off track again. So I think it's going to be Sam Hussein in the Ferrari. One of our few PlayStation users in this tier.
Oh, this one.
Ennish joined, I think. I don't remember if I saw it correctly, but he hasn't selected his car.
Has he got...
Oh, he's still in there.
He's gotten out of bed and into his driving seat.
Anyways, let's see how the Ferrari can do here. 8 of battery, actually. Which is something I've noticed a few drivers are struggling with, the battery.
Maybe they forget to switch it off on the outlap.
That could be a few. So, let's have a look. As Adam's saying, Mike had good pace when he raced him at Wet China the other week. As well, maybe you'll be hoping for some rain then, as Sam goes to P3 with a 33.6. What about Callum Pierce? Jumps to P9 with a 34.8. Mitch is backwards again. I feel in the pit lane this time.
This really hasn't been a good session for him.
I think he just left the throttle limiter on out of frustration. Anyways, we have last race's, shall we say, dominant winner, Harley, who's going to be next on our lap. Do we think he's going to do it again today? Or was Bahrain just one of his perfect races? Is taking a nice white line, hooking it onto both apexes. Seems a little bit cautious out the corner, as it's a 24.5 first sector coming into the hairpin there. Now through the fast left-hander, and you want to turn in late, hook it up close enough to the apex as possible as Harley is round. And that is,
he tried to take it in full throttle, but the rears just didn't comply. But he has 3.5 laps of fuel left in the car, so he can go for another lap.
He's taken what I like to call maybe the Mitch line through that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some drivers are struggling with, in time trial you can get that flat out every time, no issues. Maybe they've left their pressures too high.
What was that? A car just flew past Harley, who was... What's he doing?
Harley?
Yeah.
I don't know what Harley's doing. Is he stuck on that curb?
I have no idea.
I'm really confused what Harley's doing. Anyways, we have the Alfa Romeo of Zolf on a lap, and of one of our new drivers for this week. Let's see how he can do. 24.5 first sector matches what Harley did. And well, I'd say that's a good sign, considering of how quick Harley was last week. Yeah, Zolf's got it down a little lift, and you get that corner really nicely, it seems. Ooh, a bit deep there though, into this corner. It is very tricky, especially avoiding the outside curb mid-corner, as it will send you into a wall if you're not careful. Other than that though, using lower gears. He's going to need to just get through the gears a bit to get the traction, but it's not looking like a bad lap so far. A few minor mistakes, but that can always be sorted out for future runs. As Nate braking just at the 100-meter board, maybe a bit deep into the corner, and does run slightly onto the white line, it looks. It's braking at the 50-meter board for the final corner, and then up to the line. It is going to be a 33.8 and P4. So good so far from the Alfa Romeos, as Kyle does not improve, so he'll be going again. Mitch is just starting a lap. Hopefully he can get round this time. Harry Pell is improving to P4, and that's a good lap from the McLaren. But what about Arjun, who's going round next in the AlphaTauri? 2.5 temps up here. Can he take provisional pole from David Hoy? And oh, that's close, but not close enough. And a nice lap though from the AlphaTauri, as David's improving further here and does a 32.8. Very good from David. What about the other David, or shall I say Davidson? Goes P8.
Has Mitch binned it? Doing
It's
the
at
Mitch
one
line.
corner. Mitch just is having a few issues there.
Ennis is about to finish his first lap now, coming through the final corner. And it is a 33.8, as Harry Powell says hola in chat. I thought you were supposed to be... aren't you supposed to be driving now?
Thoughts on my lap? Well, you're amongst the pack with the main group of cars, so that's nice.
But you are second behind David, but quali pace doesn't always equal race pace.
Well, I knew David would be quick coming into this tier, but his time trial times and all the sign up form was completely fine for tier 3, and well, I think Arjun and others definitely have some more time in their laps, so yeah. Oh, Rod's gone into the wall. That's an unfortunate spin.
But speaking of pace or lack of pace, Harley is out of battery on his second run.
Is he improving?
And he got a massive snap
with
with a
that
hairpin.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
he's just
balls.
gone to the pit man.
This race is...
What about Callum Pierce? Coming to the line now. And P4 for Callum. That's a massive improvement on his first lap.
The time
I think he'll
improvement
be
might
very
not have
happy
been
with that.
massive, but it gets him in front of the midfield, which is quite important.
Yeah. The McLarens are qualifying well here. As that is what you like to see, or well, the McLarens will definitely like to see, both as a team doing well. And if they can keep this up, then they're looking to score a good few points here. However, I'm not sure. Callum's going to have to be quick to get out again. As we have just the one car on a lap right now, which is Habelski in the Alpine, as Adam correctly points out. Third down to ninth is a 3 temp scappers. Ooh, that would have put the Alpine off. There was a Ferrari right on the inside of that corner. As not exactly blocking him, but yeah, as
That was a massive snap.
this audio glitch is also horrible to listen to. And he's 3 temps down already and goes deep. I think he's going to abort this.
My audio is fine.
I just have, like, they're not shifting up properly through the gears.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't need to hear it any more than I already am. It's pain having to listen to it. The fact that they haven't fixed audio on this game and it's been out very long, I don't know.
I remember back when they fixed it so that worked half the time, when it worked, I was actually confused because the car sounded wrong. Because after a year of only having audio glitch, you're expecting it to sound so wrong. But when it doesn't,
Yeah.
it's just off. But going through the hairpin, it's a pretty decent run, not running as wide as in some other corners, and heading to the final corner and aborting.
So Zolf is starting what will most likely be his final run unless he decides to
Okay, Luke, we
abort.
have a question. Is my
No,
impression of
no,
the
no, I've just
engine
seen it.
or
No.
the engineer better?
Which one's better? Uh, I'm gonna have to go with the engine settings on this game.
Understood, understood.
Anyways, Zolf here, chucking it through the left-hander, goes closer to flat this time, so... And a very nice line again. This is looking like a fairly well hooked up lap so far from the Alfa Romeo. As he heads into the final sector now, and half a tenth up, which will put him up to P6. As
If he could find another tent, that will dump him P4.
yeah, that would be very good. If he can find 2 temps, that would put him P3. Fine margins here, apart from David and Arjun, who are blisteringly quick, it seems so far. There's now through the final corner from Zolf. Up to the line now. What time's it going to be? It's a 33.4 and is P3.
That's a quick lap.
It is a quick lap. What about staying? Staying to the line now. It's going to be a 34.0 P10 for the Ferrari. Harry Pebble is starting a lap. Carl Max 3 seconds down, so he's going again. So we shift our attention to Harley. And I don't know how the Aston Martin is faring. As up to the line, it's going to be a 33.3 and P3 for Harley.
A much stronger lap from our championship leader.
Seems like Sam has backed off, but he didn't have enough battery to go again. So that's going to be his qualifying over. Rudd is just going to make it to the line here to go for one more lap in the Williams. And just behind them we have Arjun and Hebelski. Arjun to the line. Can't beat David. Hebelski stays P10. I don't think he made it to the line to start a lap. As it looks like David's pole is quite safe. He's improving even more as well. Ennis invalidated, so that's his qualifying over. Who else do we have who's going well? I don't know. Harry Powell is a 10.5 down. I think David's looking pretty safe at the moment, I will say. He's actually down on his time though. Yes, Arjun did make it, but he's already completed his lap, Adam. What about Kyle Mack? Was half a tenth there? Oh, yeah, that's an interesting line. I mean, it's a 32.6, but I'm not sure how legal of a 32.6 it is. Anyways, we do have Rudd here in the Williams. Oh, he's 17 seconds down.
Probably
So
fun.
yeah.
So we'll see if David Hoy can improve his lap.
Oh,
Not
that was a
with
big
that slide.
Only 100th off. As David's managing to get pulled by just over half a tenth here. Ahead of Arjun. Our championship leader Harley starts P3. Zolf starts P4. 2 debut drivers starting 4th and 5th. With Sam in 5th. Callum Pearce 6th. Ennis 7th, Harry Power 8th, Carl 9th, Hebelski 10th, staying in his first race this season in 11th, Rudd 12th, and Mike Atherton 13th with a full Red Bull back row lockout, which Adam will be loving and hating at the same time because, well, I think he actually, in a weird world, supports Red Bull in this here, which is something I'm sure that he feels a bit strange about. Please call me HP. Like the sauce. Right. Anyways, Rudd's returning to the pits. The Williams mechanics are taking their time, shall we say, but that's the end of qualifying, and 2 drivers far ahead of the rest. However, behind them, it's much more closely contended, so we'll have to see how this race is going to go, as I think Harley's going to be looking to improve throughout the race. There's not the qualifying he would have wanted to continue on his streak of leading and winning everything, it seems.
First session
Whether
he
that be
hasn't
qualifying
led.
Sessions. Yeah.
And he was
a
half a
session he
second
hasn't
off.
led.
This is really not ideal.
It does look like we are going to have a nice fight for the win, though, between Arjun and David.
Or maybe Harley just hasn't got the quali pace and is going to be right on their tails in the race.
All questions will be answered shortly, as 20 seconds until we go to the grid. No formation that because it's still broken. Please fix your game.
I like it when it's random whether you get 70-degree tyres or not.
Oh, the timer's gone. That ended really quick.
I think that might have been the loading in timer.
Ah. And they were waiting for setups. All our timers are just broke today. Wait, oh no, there we go.
Someone's
We have a
clicked.
Someone's ready, sorted their fuel, set up everything. I mean, they've had time to do it, so you know, everyone should be ready. Let's see how this race goes.
We have 5 seconds left on the clock.
So, to the grid we go. You can do this time round.
Okay, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. And it seems like it's a decent start for our pole sitter, David Hoy. And there's a massive crash behind. And David Hoy is going to get far ahead as there's broken front wings all over the track. And Zolf is up into second. That was a really strong start from the Alfa Romeo, and the McLarens are currently PN4. Again, another massive improvement in position. And Mitch is somehow up to P5 after all of that. On the
Those soft tyres have definitely helped him off the start there. As the 2 of our front runners from last race have collided to start with here. And that's definitely going to cause some controversy between those 2, as can Mitch make it round this corner without spinning? He's done it. And
I'm just watching,
on
and
those soft
Harley's
tyres,
got no
he's going to
front
be
wing.
quick. Does Arjun has got away with a front wing, so Harley, that's unfortunate for him. As
He'll have to box to fix the wing. But what this
Yeah.
does mean is that David Hoy is going to have an opportunity to run away from the rest of the grid on the soft compound of tyre. Sorry, the medium, not the softs. Mitch is on
Zolf's
the soft.
not letting him do that, though, as Zolf is only half a second behind, sticking quite well with him, and then the 2 McLarens closely follow Mitch. Not quite in the range, but I think he just avoided contact, made up positions, and then needs to close into that gap ahead, as the Ferrari of Stain looking like he was going for a dive on Ennis then. Also on the soft compounder tyre, as Someone else who is Mike in the Red Bull. So both Red Bulls on softs here. As Mitch has almost closed back into that 1 second range.
What I remember from the 100% race that I did is that the hards were dreadful and the softs were great for about 12 laps in a 100%, which is equivalent to 6 in a 50%. As Arjun's complaining in the chat that the entire car is damaged whilst driving.
Well, I've just looked, this damage is correct, it's on standard.
That car does seem a bit slower than it should be. As the Ferrari, who I haven't learnt the name of yet, is right on the back of him and is going to try and go around the outside into the slow corner and goes for a switchback, and I think that is a successful switchback. Although the Ferrari runs a bit wide off track, which allows Arjun to get back past. And now going into the corner, we are given a pretty dreadful camera angle, so I'll switch to this one. And then coming out of the fast right-hander down to the main straight, and it seems like Arjun has got a sufficiently good exit for staying ahead for this lap. However, the other Ferrari is going to go down the inside of Ennis, who almost runs into the back of Habble 88
Elski.
and avoids making contact, and now goes down the inside of the Ferrari and makes the move stick into the final corner. Zulf's actually set the fastest lap, and himself and David are really starting to pull away from the McLarens, who are struggling to stick in DRS at this point in time. However, Lucas Rudd is also going to try and go for a move down the inside of the Ferrari, who's already running out of battery. Meanwhile, Lucas, who was running fairly low wings in Bahrain, has got a completely full battery as Arjun's in the pits.
There's yellow flags. That is Sam, and that's a VSC.
What happened?
Sam spun. I assume, yeah, he's got no front wing, so there's probably a front wing on the track causing damage. Or causing an obstruction, shall I say, not damage. As people have got to be questioning the lobby settings, they're completely fine. I made sure to set them up correctly after there was a bit
got
of
a
fast
drive-through for
F1.
speeding under safety car.
Ooh.
So it's really not good for P1 and 2 in the championship. And also P3 in the championship, not having the best of races either.
Is that Carl Mack?
That is.
I believe.
And he's in 10th.
Yeah, the 10th, 13th and 14th. And we've got David Hoyzolf and Harry Pell, who are completely taking up the podium, which is interesting to see. And I mean, if we could have this every week, different podium sitters, I mean, that would create one hell of a championship. As Arjun's got another. He's got 2 drive-throughs. As Ennis has got a move for P6.
If he doesn't serve them in time, he might actually get disqualified, which would be a bit of a worry.
The next 2 laps.
As Lucas is deciding to not use the battery yet, although he does look very close to the back of the Ferrari going into the first corner. And will he decide to go down the inside? I think he will. Will he make it work? The inside will switch to the outside into the left-hander. Who gets the better traction? It's very close. Rival with Karl Mack behind. And it seems like they're still going to be side by side into the hairpin, although Lucas Rudd seems to have gotten the advantage and is ahead going into the hairpin.
Nice race in there between those two, as the softs die quite quickly around here. I know that, so
I would say China's probably the only track on the game where the softs are more durable than they were in last year's game, but despite that, they still aren't that great.
Yeah, they were dreadful last game in terms of durability.
Yeah, they were absurdly quick. The one, as the Ferrari almost goes for a move on Lucas, but it doesn't work out.
The one who has escaped is David.
Yeah.
But Zolf's actually using a lot of the battery and has closed that gap in rapidly here, so if you can get back into DRS, then that's going to be vital.
We ride on board with Karl Mack, who is thinking about going for a move in the Ferrari. but decides to wait another lap and wait for the hards to get their advantage over the softs. Will he go for a move into turn 1? Maybe. He's very close behind out of the final corner. Decides to not switch on the battery for now, saves it for another time, and I think we'll be going for a move next lap.
The Ferrari definitely has got the straight line speed, but he broke a bit late in turn 1. That's going to lay Kyle to swoop up the inside there and take P9 in this race.
I think the softs are definitely starting to go off at this point.
We've currently got the Ennis strain. Quite a lot of drivers from 6th down to 10th, all behind Ennis, and well, they are slowly catching Mitch, who is sort of maintaining his gap to the McLarens in front as Callum has closed right up to his teammate here. And definitely will be looking to probably not bother his teammate too hard, as I think after this qualifying they've done very well. And I don't think they'll want to throw all that progress away, as this would be 27 points for the team if they finish where they are now, which would be a very good result. Yeah. Ennis has almost got into the DRS of Mitch. He has actually done so now, but he's not going to have the benefit of that on this straight. So he's just going to have to wait until the start-finish straight to get the benefit of it. I don't think he's going to get a move on Mitch just yet.
Maybe next lap, though.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe next lap, as Mitch seems to have solved his spinning problems for now, but what he hasn't solved is running wide out the final corner. That would have probably been the track limit.
I don't think so. Either gives you like 5 warnings or none when you do that.
What I found out is you can't check the race director mid-race, it kicks you off.
That might be a sprint race bug.
I
think that's a sprint race bug, because for me it always works.
Yeah, I pressed escape, clicked onto it, and yeah, it didn't let me, as we've got a fight here for P13 between Sam and Harley. Harley taking the position there. And well, the Aston Martin's going to be trying to make some progress as Arjun goes to the pit lane to serve the second of his drive-throughs, I believe. And Sam looking for a move back on Harley. He probably wants to get past us as a spin. I believe that's Mike in the Red Bull.
I think so as well. Also, in other news, Lucas Rudd is outside of DRS.
Oh, that's a bit wide from Mitch there, and he's managed to keep the car in shape, but Ennis is already going to be past him, and also has DRS, so I think Mitch is going to struggle to fight this one back, but he's got absurdly good straight line speed and still 90% off the battery. So he's going to swap to the inside, braking later on the soft tyres. Ennis gets a bit of a tap from the Alpine behind. Mitch keeps the position as the Alpine also slides out of the corner there. As Karl Max also moved up into P8 ahead of Lucas Rudd. However, I don't think the fight between Mitch and Ennis is over, as Mitch moving around a bit, and there's also been a swap in the McLaren department. Callum now leads out of the two of them, as Ennis is looking for a move here on Mitch. Close is a bit on him, but it's not going to cost Mitch too much. However, I think Mitch definitely was warranted a bit more space there, I will say. Well, this is extending this DRS stream from 5th all the way down to 10th now, I will say, which I'm sure is going to be interesting. As there's the McLaren rain, that's Harry Powell.
Is that a reset to track?
I don't know. I think it may have been, I'm not sure.
I hope not,
we
because
can't...
that's a penalty.
If you watch, then yeah, but we can't confirm. That is a non-confirmable one before Adam just goes and starts writing about it.
You can just watch the stream back.
Yeah. Kind of feel bad for Callum at the moment. He's in no man's land now, but yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like we're going to have an absolutely epic battle between Snake. What is the straight line speed from Powell?
I don't know, but he's just absolutely rocket shipped past Kyle there, and is Now in a bit of a bump fest.
Yeah, he's pushing Mitch through the final corner. Probably
He
wants
was
to
also
get
getting pushed
past.
from Kyle behind slightly.
Probably
As
gets.
Oh, that line from Kyle, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. Will Carl decide to go for a move? Yes, he will on the hard tyres. And it seems like the McLaren is missing a front wing end plate.
And yeah, is suffered from that into the corner. I think misjudged the braking, perhaps Kyle a bit, but doesn't cause any harm. But yeah, he's definitely missing an end plate here as he's trying to fight for his position. See, they spent one. I don't know how this is. If this pays off, I don't know how. As I think Lucas Front's just going to swoop back into the next corner.
Yeah.
And yeah.
With the extra downforce.
Yeah, that was a an audacious dive.
I was just complaining about him serving the drive-through but still having it. You got 2 drive-throughs, mate. As Powell somehow gets a track limit warning there to get a penalty. And I don't.
Meanwhile, this has allowed Hebelski and Ennis to sort of just get away from the chasing pack, I will say.
Yeah. Why are they texting whilst driving?
It seems like a really safe idea, that does, doesn't it?
You want more broadcast cam? Here you go, Hugo.
0-0 is 347. Thanks for that info,
No, I
Adam.
think it's at Baku it's 352. I think. Like if you run like the ride height as well. Like you can,
Yeah.
Then click F2.
Oh, Mitch is in. And
here you go.
9 laps on the soft, or 8 laps.
No, I want my.
He said it.
All the soft runners are in.
I don't think Mitch knows where the pit lane line is. I can't lie.
Yeah. Although Powell has left the session, though I don't think he's retired the car in the pit lane, so his AI is just going to keep driving away. Oh, you want me to hide the keybinds? Okay, there you go.
Harry Powell, I can invite you back. Don't worry.
Oh, did he have a disconnect?
I can invite you back. It's fine. My internet's gone off. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Could you... Okay, when
It's
you're
a
back
crossplay
online,
lobby.
ping me.
Oh, it's his internet that's gone.
Yeah, his internet's
Oh.
gone. Are sign-ups still open? Yes, sign-ups are currently open for the mid-season. Well, in mid-season, I don't know why I said for the mid-season, but yeah, during mid-season we still have sign-ups open, so you can get yourself signed up and come and race with us. As Hebelski here, close to the back of Ennis. He's also got a good battery advantage. However, not deciding to use it. He is quite far. The DRS will drag him closer. Maybe he's looking for a move on the start-finish straight. We'll just have to find out as he's gone a bit deep into the corner. And I think Ennis is just going to be able to keep this for now. Don't think I'll get on. Okay. Yeah, if your internet does come back at some point, just make sure to message me on Discord or just ping me in the F3 chat. I'll make sure to get you back in as quick as possible. Or comment in the YouTube chat and yeah, we can get you back in. But for now, we go back to the action as Hebelski still following behind Ennis here, the 2 hard runners obviously, and I think maybe not deciding to fight and just taking advantage of the fact that they're on, well, a different strategy and to the drivers in front, and they want to make the most of it, as the mediums especially are going to be a much better tyre when they swap to them. I say are slowly closing in on Callum, making me think that the tyre difference is starting to shift closer in favour to the hards now. I think they're more than likely about even at this point, and then over the coming laps you'll see it swap in favour.
I think maybe another lap or 2 until they swap around, because the hards at this track do feel utterly terrible. That's what I remember from the 100% race, but in that race, medium triple soft was the fastest theoretical strategy according to the game, which it definitely isn't in a 50%. And that was before you had 2 sets of mediums. But Habel goes for a move into the hairpin, but runs a bit deep, and Ennis stays ahead as they head down onto the start-finish straight.
Further back, we've got a fight for 11th place. Hardy's made his way back to 11th at the moment. And I think he's probably just going to be trying to go to the end on those hard tyres. Or as far as he can into the race at least. As
I'm not sure they do 25 laps with good...
Yeah, the tyre wear here is just very high in general. It's not ideal to have to swap to tyres at a unconventional point. Mike here going for the dive.
Oh, that was a send.
He's gone a bit deep into the corner though, and Harley's going to be able to keep that position.
For now.
So, when do we think the front runners are going to pit then?
I think David might go like... I think the ones and mediums will go like lap 13-ish. They might want to extend a bit just to make sure... Because if their tyres feel good, there's no real reason to box.
David at the moment hasn't extended too much of a gap over Zolf, who actually jumps into the pit lane as we were talking about it. So 11 laps is enough for Zolf to decide that it's time to
find
pit.
The pit limiter line.
Is it just a common theme as all? Someone's binned it. That's Lucas Rudd, and he's got no front wing. And that's brought out a safety car.
What?
Hello.
This race is just gotten spicy.
Zolf's a bit unlucky there. He spent most of his time going through the pit lane, well, at racing speed. Oh, well, everyone else was at racing speed.
I think
so
he'll
for
still
his
be
sake, he hasn't lost too much.
When everyone else
Yeah, he
pits.
probably should be. That shakes things up massively, and honestly, I think that's quite perfect for the medium runners. I will be honest.
However, those on hard will now be able to strap on the much quicker mediums, and will be able to go for moves in the first few laps. And I don't think their tyres will fall off a cliff by the end. They will be worn, but it could be worse.
It definitely could be worse.
As the Duke is complaining about automatic gears and the rev lights. I will admit, it is... You can hear whether someone's running traction control or not. Because it just cuts out many times a second.
Is he playing on keyboard? What's up with his wheel? It's probably a controller.
Yeah.
As David Hoyt, of course, jumps into the pit lane.
I think everyone will jump into the pits apart from those on new tyres, although it's those at the back who are on newish tyres. And they won't lose out as much if they pit.
Oh, that's a drive through for Atherton, who's sped under the safety car. Let's have a look then. Where is Zolf going to re-emerge in this race? Callum Pearce exiting the pit lane, but I think Zolf's still going to be in second place as... Yeah, he manages to hold on to his position, which is good for the Alfa Romeo. However, this is going to bring everyone closer together and is definitely going to spice the race up a bit.
Yeah. Is Ennis on track for a race win?
Potentially. I think any of the three behind the front three could be, as Mitch. He only just pitted, so he's staying out. Whoever's staying is going in. So maybe he thinks the mediums are a better option here. And he might have picked the two sets of mediums, which, yeah, he has. And he's going for the fresh mediums, so...
Harley's on
definitely
new mediums.
wanted that initial pace. Harley also went mediums. I think Arjun will probably pit this lap. And... no, Arjun's staying out on 9-lap old hards.
That is a curious choice, because those hards will be dead at the end, and even more dead than mediums.
as everyone else has pretty much swapped tyres other than those who had only swapped, well, 2 or 3 laps ago.
Is this the first lap that the safety car's driving around?
Yeah, this is the first one.
So the safety car will stay out for another lap. And it might stay out for another additional lap.
What was interesting was, before the VSC, at the start, Zolf was actually able to stay with David, but unfortunately the VSC came just before DRS, and then he sort of just dropped away, so potentially this time he has a chance to stick with the Hash driver, and, well, we'll find out as... yeah. It's going to be interesting as...
Everyone's joining the chat now.
Yep, we have a few people, more than likely here to watch Ennis, I can't lie. And yeah, Bashy says Ennis will win. Well, this is in P4 and on medium, so he's in a good place at the moment, I'll tell you that. So there's a good chance that he can, as long as he doesn't mess it up.
Oh, what? Was that a bit of a lag for Callum Pierce?
Probably.
We also need some Mitch support in chat, everyone. Currently P7 after getting a storm of a start, although he's on 5-lap old hards.
We need some support for surviving this far after his quali looked not great. But you know what, he's recovered it in the race, and I think he'll be happy with P7 so far.
Hopefully the safety car will be in this lap so I don't fall asleep.
Luke, I dived you in Spa, right? Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Well, I think we are going to be in this lap. Everyone's sort of just catching up to the back.
I think it's where so you know where the game says catch up to safety car queue, and then it switches to stay behind person. If it's playing stay behind person for everyone in the train, when the safety car crosses into the final sector, safety car is in this lap. Otherwise, I believe it stays out.
Safety car is in this lap.
Although after 2 laps, sometimes it just decides to go in anyways.
I think it's confident that Sam will catch.
Yeah.
David's got a lot of time now to prepare his restart, which I'm sure he's going to be appreciative of.
Lots of time for the tyres to cool down.
Oh gosh, Callum's internet's interesting.
Yeah.
So here we go then. Where will David restart? He can't restart yet, the safety car's not in the pit lane, but
he'll have the throttle limit if he tries to go. And it will be RNG as to who else has the throttle limiter.
And that would be dangerous. Anyway, so we're going to have half of the race left.
I'm surprised he didn't go out of the hairpin.
He's going now. He's gone about halfway while the drivers behind were still weaving, and he's got a bit of a gap to Zolf as everyone's running wide. Literally everyone, apart from Ennis, who's now on the attack, chasing after Callum Pierce, 2 tenths behind, but not close enough into turn 1. Maybe with a calculated move he can make it, but no, Callum's just taking a nice line where Ennis is actually trying to sneak it down the inside, but yeah,
cold hards at this track are dreadful in turn 1.
The medium runners have definitely got a lot of grip, and Mitch is dropping away from Karl Max, so...
Is that a dive from Ennis? Yes, it is.
Ennis has dived it. Callum goes off track there. I'm not sure if that was necessary or not. I only swapped to it last second. Ennis is up to P3. As Pavelski also managed to get through from that. Karl Max now having a look as Callum's being swallowed here by the medium runners. He definitely didn't get his tyres up to temperature, I don't think. As there's a bit of contact there and they're both framed. And oh, that was tight. And oh, that's 2 resets. And oh, someone else has gone. Yep. That's brilliant. That's what you call a tier 3 moment right there. As Ennis is about a second behind the front 2ers. Zolf's right on the back of David Hoy here, and I think he's going to look for a dive as everyone's spinning. Oh my, look at the
Yeah.
It's like
Right now I'm
4
looking at
cars
the
rain.
battle as Zolf's able to go for a switchback. Although David gets a much stronger drive off the corner now. They go through the final corner. And the Alfa Romeo is out wide again. And I don't think he'll be able to go for a move into turn 1. As Ennis is following a second behind with quite a bit more battery than the two leaders.
Yeah, they've deployed a lot here early on, and
Yeah, and it seems like
I think
Ennis...
Zolf's really trying to get past David on track, because I think he knows if he can get past, then he can definitely fight and stick with David and has more of a chance of winning. And he's going to need to do that quickly as his yellow flags once again. That's Carl Mack. Everyone's rained on this restart. This is
a bit messy.
a bit chaotic, yeah.
And it seems to be taking a lot of speed through the corner.
It's on the charges. That's a retirement. That's Sam Hussein out the race, and that's another safety car. Ooh.
Will anyone decide to box for new mediums? Because they've done 1.5 laps now, so that should be about like, plus the laps and the safety car, so that should be like 10-15% roughly.
Yeah.
If you're at the back and no one else is boxing, I'd say it's worth it, but otherwise, no.
Well, McLaren's race has gone down the drain at the moment. And I'm also concerned for Mike, who needs to serve his drive-through.
Ah. Yeah, that could be a problem.
I'm hoping he'll be able to get in and get that sorted. As what do people do with the strategy now? What happens? David staying out, Zolf staying out. I think everyone will stay out. They have only just swapped the tyres. Maybe someone
Mitch
might try
stays out.
something. Mitch is off track under safety car. Stains in the Ferrari. Another set of mediums.
Everyone's really struggling with where the pit limiter starts.
Yeah, Harry Pell. I think his internet's still gone, which is
What tires does the AI box for? 5-lap-old mediums?
No, he's not in the pits.
7-lap...
Stayed out.
Oh, stayed out. 8-lap-old hards, I guess.
As everyone's going for fresh mediums, it seems. Who has pitted apart from Kyle, who... Oh no, Kyle's still in the box. Yeah, fresh mediums. Well, that's... It's going to take a bit, I think, another lap at least, for everyone to catch back up once again. As to be fair, 17 laps, only 1 retirement. They've done better than Bahrain, I think.
I would say so.
There's been a lot less contact. There's been a bit of pushing and shoving through corners, but other than that, been fairly fine. As Arjen says, why is Ferrari washed in F3? What is this? Just keeping up with F1.
But right now, all the Ennis fans, he's in P3.
Yeah, it's good for
and
all
is
of
trying
you
to
watching.
burn off his 1.9 laps of additional fuel. As the safety car will probably be out for 1 more lap and then come in. Now the question is whether his tyres will make it to the end.
Well, that restart was exciting. So hopefully this one's just the same. There was a lot of chaos, but yeah. Arjen will, to be fair, batter everyone on Wednesday. My aim's to get a clean sweep of wins. Yeah, we're not going to let you do that.
If that happens, there might be some interesting strategies. Where maybe one of us stays out and screws over your race or something along those lines.
To not let you win every race.
You shall not win.
Don't worry, I've already got Johnny to sort that one out for me.
Actually, what... If either of us have a chance of winning, when will it be?
Not Hungary. not France.
Yeah, definitely not Hungary or France. Definitely not Bahrain.
But yeah, because that's already happened.
Yeah. And we're also
China,
super slow.
no. Singapore if it's raining.
Yeah,
Thoughts? Oh wait, no, but Hungary's in tier 1.
Oh, if it's raining...
We're screwed there as well.
I guess if it's like a very... If someone maybe tweaks it so that it's like double simulation damage, and then also it is like a full 100% distance, or something along those lines, and then only 2 people actually finish the race, that would be good. And if it actually hits... If it actually hits the 2-hour time limit instead of the 61 laps.
I insist that we made a good calendar. Well, the calendar is something that's been a bit interestingly discussed, shall we say? But yeah, Canada.
The safety car going to be out for. Why is someone gone for soft?
I recommend you don't watch Tier 1 Canada. Is all I'm saying. You don't need to watch that one. As the safety car is in this lap, and Mike's gone for softs actually.
Yeah. Oh, Ennis almost overtook Zol. And why did I make that noise? Probably the worst sound effect I've made this stream.
Anyways, David Hoyt, final corner.
Holding it much later.
Oh! This is an interesting restart. Everyone's really trying to just get away as... Oh!
Mike's been disqualified.
Oh, that was close there.
Yeah.
Ennis almost went flying. As now Havelski's looking for a move up the inside. They're still side by side as Ennis is trying to keep his position. He needs to do this if he wants to go for the win here, as he's managed to do so. Everyone's swapping positions. Harley's up to 6th. And he's now looking for a dive on Mitch. Can he get this done? They're going to be very closely side by side into the corner. Can Hardy get up to 5th? This is a good recovery from the Aston after being put in a wall at not even at turn 1. And yeah, he's done it round the outside of Mitch, and that's P5.
P5 for our championship leader. So it seems like he's doing the best out of the championship protagonists.
And there's a reset to track for good measures. Zolf dives it a bit deep into that corner, potentially opening him up to Ennis here, as Arjun's also around with the bodywork damage, as Zolf is chasing after David Hoy here.
Seems like Ennis has been able to pull a decent gap to the other medium runners and will be threatening the leaders. Arjun's complaining about the tier 1 race being on the same time as Argentina-Poland. That is something you can cry about, because I won't be watching the football.
Restart after those first few corners has been a little more calm. I don't think it's going to be calm for the drivers who are driving it, as Arjun moves up into P11.
Ennis does not seem to have the same pace advantage as he did last restart. It's called Shocker.
As Callum Pierce picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Hugo. Why are you making fun of people? Then you're good. I love how when you're the streamer, you have utter and complete control over chat. Like, they can only do 200 characters every 5 seconds, whereas you can just speak.
Lucas runs round and drops down to 10th. Arjun's now up to 9th. Flying through the grid here as Mitch is being overtaken by Carl Mack. Oh my, you got a bit on that curb. He's running definitely a very low ride height, as Kyle also picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Mitch is running some pretty low wings.
As Arjun shouted about points, he's on the race winning pace. What a drive. I mean, he got P2 last week, was it?
Yeah.
So, a bit of a downgrade, unfortunately, this week, is he has got full bodywork damage and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Ennis seems to have closed back up and has saved quite a bit of battery compared to the Alfa Romeo driver ahead.
I think Zolf's strategy, he's gone for the same thing again of trying to get past David Hoy. And well, that's going to leave him vulnerable if he drops out the DRS to Ennis, as Ennis has got plenty of battery saved up. And I don't think it's going to be the fight for the win between Ennis and David if Zolf does drop out of DRS, but Zolf's doing a really good job at the moment, just keeping that gap around 7/10, and that's all he needs to do for now. As yeah, this is going to go right down to the last few laps now, and definitely
seems like Ennis is closing up quite a bit through the chicane, although it gets a bit of a snap.
I think Ennis is running higher downforce.
Yeah.
As he loses quite a bit on the straights normally. I mean, he got a good exit there, and now with DRS, he's turned on the battery. He's got a good run. He's putting the battery back on. He sees the red light flashing on the Alfa Romeo, and he's going to try sneak this one down the inside. He's managed to get it alongside, but not close enough for Ennis this time round.
But will he be able to go for a move into turn 1?
Zolf's made a mistake into the final corner, and Ennis is now on the charge, using the battery, using the DRS. He's going to make sure he can keep the position, and that's P2 for Ennis, and now he's on the charge after David Hoy for the race win.
Yeah, and David will not have any DRS, although he does have a bit more battery after Ennis had to dump some to get that overtake. But the DRS advantage will be quite strong on that long straight, although Ennis is using quite a bit of battery to try and close in a bit closer.
He's going to need to save some, as David's still got 50% to defend with, so I think Ennis is just going to have to sit behind for a lap or two, charge his battery, then go for it, but at the same time that will allow David to charge his battery, as long as Ennis isn't putting the pressure on or putting enough pressure on, as I don't think David's the kind of driver to react to anything unnecessarily. He's controlled this race at the front and has done a really good job at doing so far. As I think Zolf's going to be under pressure again here from Habelski, who also has a lot of battery to dump, and yeah, Zolf, it's not looking the best at the moment for him. However, once everyone starts to use their battery up, then and especially with the tyres, they're going to cross over soon. Things may sway back into his favour, as they're going to be side by side. Out at the final corner, Zolf's going to keep the position for now in the Alfa Romeo. However, Habelski's going to have another shot at it here. Someone else who's close is Ennis, but he's not going to be close enough. What about Habelski, though? Not quite close enough either, but he definitely could be looking for a move in the next few laps. He's looking for the gap, and he's made contact. Ooh, that was close.
Lucky neither of them span. Iron, I might be interested in doing a few bit of practice. That
was close. Habelski diving it on the inside. Later braking. They're still side by side here, and I think Habelski's going to get the position and is onto the podium at the moment.
But Harley's up to P5 so far.
Harley's hovering here, waiting for a mistake. He knows there's positions to be gained here. Back to the front. Ennis has got a bit more battery this time around. He's generated about 10% over the last lap. As David has actually started to use his battery as well.
Yeah, he's down to 35.
And yeah, he's deploying it all now. He's down to 30%. As
Ennis is going to close back in. All the advantage David got with the battery, just with the aid of DRS. And Ennis gets that for the next 5 laps. And will just be able to recharge and recharge, whilst David's battery continues to drain. Although the one question mark hanging over the race is whether Ennis's tyres will drop off by the end.
He's getting he's doing what he needs to do right now, and that's keep the pressure on David, force him to use the battery and keep close to him. And well, if he keeps doing that, then he's got a good chance at a good result here as Mitch has spun. And I think that's his first spin of the race, isn't it?
It might be.
And after a horrid qualifying, he's done well so far. He was running, I think, P8. And
well,
yeah,
I've
that's
noticed that
unfortunate.
Harley's brake dragging out of the corners, and he's had a massive snap. So there might be something wrong with
Harley
his equipment.
Into the gravel.
That is a weird one.
What is he? Did it look like he was struggling with?
Yeah, like he was brake dragging out of the hairpin, which I don't know why, and the car just snapped in the fast left-hander.
David's got a bit more of a gap this lap, so he's not using any of the battery to defend. Ennis is not quite close enough. And I think he's going to need to get a move in the next lap or two if he wants to win this race. Zolf still right on the back of Habelski here. And this is for the last spot on the podium. And this race is going right down to the final 4 laps here, where everything is still undecided. And we've got 3 separate battles there on track at the moment. David and Ennis, Habelski and Zolf, and then Carmack and Saint Lagrange, who are all fighting for their positions, as well as Harley, who's just within DRS of Rudd. However, we'll have to see if he can try and salvage something from this race, as David still got that battery advantage over Ennis, and Ennis seems to have so much more grip through the high-speed corners, and that's what's helping him keep this gap close. As it's now about 4 tenths. If he can stay close here, he might have a chance.
Yeah, he might have a chance to save the battery or even go for a move.
Here we go. David's going to have to use a bit of the battery here to defend his position, as Ennis has charged up to 20%. David is using his. Ennis is also deploying. I don't think he's close enough, but he might get close enough for a late lunge. I'm not sure. David's staying on battery though, and that's definitely going to affect him for the next 3 laps at defending. As Zolf again still close to the back of Habelski, but at the moment in both battles, the lead driver has more battery.
Although the advantage for David went down by about 10% over the course of that lap. So if Ennis can keep doing that, he might run out of laps. So do the overtake, if I'm being completely honest, because there's only 3 laps left. And it's not like David doesn't have an advantage. Although it seems like the advantage is definitely declining. Although David will have an increasing advantage every lap with the tyre wear.
I think if Ennis can get as close as he did last lap, he might have a massive chance on this lap. But he's going to need to close that gap up.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at the tyre temps, and the rear tyres on Ennis look quite cool, which suggests that the pressures are not super high, which also implies higher rear tyre wear. So I'm not sure what state Ennis's tyres are in, although they seem to be still working fine at this point.
Let's see, can Ennis do it? Now then, he's 4 tenths behind. He puts the battery on. David's also using his battery as well to defend, but I think Ennis is much closer this lap. Can he get the move done? He sees David flashing. He's got no battery himself though.
See that.
Is he going to go for the dive? David parked it in the middle of the track, and Ennis just can't get through. And
but now he knows that they're both low on battery.
But yeah,
that is a massive psychological advantage for the Mercedes driver, to know that you're both low.
There's been a move, there's a fight further back between Lucas Rudd and Harley Davidson. as Harley alongside Lucas coming into the final corner here. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be Lucas Rudd, I think, just about, but Harley's going to have the DRS to fight it. Oh no, neither of them are going to have DRS actually, as I believe they were side by side at the crossover point.
Yeah. And also,
As
Arjun is
P7.
P7.
And with all the damage he's had, fair enough, he might even be able to get P5 here, which would be an exceptional drive as Ennis is close
and
now.
that's 3 penalties, because we're not sure what's going to happen with all of these resets to track. There's been quite a few, if I remember, as he goes around the outside of the Ferrari, and now is going to go inside, which now switches back to outside again, and it seems like Arjun has been able to get past Stain.
I think this is the lap. Here's Ennis right on the back of David. If he can get the traction good at the corner, which he... David's got much better traction, but they're about even on battery. David's using everything. Ennis is using everything. I don't think he's close enough, but... yeah, oh, he might be actually. Into the corner, Ennis is going to look to the outside of David, braking later here. Is he going to try cut it back? And he is. Is he alongside? Not quite, but definitely on the next race.
This is the closest
David's
they've been the entire race.
Across.
As they're now going through the final corner, and Ennis opens the DRS, although it seems like David's got a better exit, but we'll see how much the Mercedes is able to close into the Haas, not the Ferrari. As they go into turn 1, the really tight corner, and then now into turn 2, the left-hander. As it seems like there's a little touch.
In the rear a bit. Ennis has to catch a bit of a slide as well. Is that going to allow David to be safe? I don't know, because Ennis has been mighty in the middle sector here.
What about a Walmart
a bit of a mistake out that hairpin there, as the gap's up to 8 tenths, as Ennis really trying to crawl that gap back before the final DRS straight here. And he's going to need to have a perfect few corners here if he wants a chance. And David's managing to just keep that gap at about 7 tenths here, so David might be able to win the race just off of that. Ennis is going to have to get a perfect exit out of this corner here if he wants any chance of getting the move done, which again David gets a good exit. Well, Ennis can't really close in on him, and I think he's going to maintain the position. Someone who might not maintain the position is Habelski, who's got Zolf 4 tenths behind here. While Habelski does have the advantage of DRS, we know Zolf's had strong straight line speed, but he's not getting close enough here. So I believe Habelski is going to finish on the podium ahead of Zolf, as David Toy with 1 corner to go here. There comes round to the line to win here in China. Ennis finishing 2nd. Habelski's going to hold off Zolf for P3. As Carl Mack comes across the line, P5, but I think we'll drop to 7th. As Arjun jumps up to P5, staying to P6. Carl down to 7, and then Harley Davidson not quite able to get Lucas Rudd, so they'll finish 8th and 9th. Mitch is going to come across the line 10th.
He's got a lot of battery spare.
Then the 2 McLarens will be 11th and 12th.
That's an interesting way to finish the race for Mitch. The McLarens were looking so good at the start, 3rd and 4th, but now 11th and 12th.
Ooh.
This is not what the McLarens would have wanted, if I'm being completely honest.
That was a very interesting race, a very tactical one, and it was all about having the gap, and it just pretty much battery management there at the end. As the game's driver of the day is Kyle Mack. Who would you say is your driver of the day, though?
I don't know. Maybe Ennis? I'm not sure, although he made that mistake the final lap, so maybe David. Oh, we need to do a vote and then have someone sponsor our thing so we get monies and stuff. Luke, set that up, please.
It'd be nice if I could. But you know what? I can actually do a vote if you want.
Okay.
Let me set one up in the chat. So, Ennis also gets the fastest lap points. That's 19 for him. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Yes, let's do it. Who should we put in the driver of the day poll? David Hoy,
Yeah.
Ennis, and
Zolf.
Zolf. You reckon?
I mean,
What about Hebelski as well?
Yeah, top 4.
Top 4, sure.
But you're missing the goat. The one and only goat. Are we doing any interviews tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just switch over to the intermission screen and close the
There you
game
go.
down.
Shouldn't there be a poll in chat where you can vote for driver of the day or your personal driver of the day? As
I'm supposed to be impartial, right?
be as impartial as you want to be.
What I'll do is I'll remove my vote from the count.
And it has got 75% of the votes. 1 vote for David Hoy.
I think the chat has voted for Ennis, so we'll have to award the driver of the day to Ennis Safari, who is not in the interview box yet, but hopefully we can get some of them in
Oh,
soon.
we don't have a vote for David. Oh, everything's changing. Zolf's got a vote now as well, with 6 votes. Ennis still leads the way with half of the votes. Have you pinged about interviews?
No, I think that's your job, because I'm...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh. Bit of confusion.
It's fine. I'm on it.
We're on it. Good. Good. We'll see if any of them join for an interview in the next 30 seconds, as David Hoy has accepted. Will he join a VC?
David can just join in.
As several people are typing in the F3 chat. Hello, David.
Hello.
Hard-earned race win.
Tell me about it. I won't lie. Looking at qualifying, I thought, I can't remember his name, the AlphaTauri driver would probably be the only one to pose a threat, but everyone's race pace was really good.
Yeah.
Hards are terrible.
Yeah.
I miss medium softs.
Yeah. It's a shame that we don't do 100% race where medium soft is a viable strategy.
That was what I was looking at the before the race start, just to see how much slower it was, and it was only 9 seconds slower on 50%.
The issue with China is that the pit lane is 23 seconds.
Give me a second, Ennis. I need to sort your stuff. Sorry.
So, pole position, if I remember, and then I think, did you lead every corner?
Well, Zolf may have very temporarily taken the lead in that long straight hairpin, but if we're going by lap count, I believe so.
The only thing separating you from a Grand Slam was the fastest lap, which went to Ennis.
I'm not surprised. He was on me, absolutely on me the whole time. I think he may have ever so slightly tapped me.
Yeah, I think
through
on
turn
the one of the laps at the end.
Yeah, I saw him drop off a bit, and I heard like a little bit of rubbing. The proximity arrow never went red, which was concerning. So it must have just been a really light tap. But
Yeah, it might have been
yeah, he
from
backed off a bit.
behind.
Hold on, let me just. Okay, there you go, Ennis. You should be able to speak now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Sorry.
Mike's loud.
There you go.
Am I too loud or too quiet?
You're fine.
Okay. Whew. Jesus, I'm sweating.
Squeaky bum time.
Oh man.
Definitely an interesting race. That was definitely a tactical game at the end there between you two. A lot of, well, obviously we could see everything with the battery, and David just had a slight advantage every lap, which I think just gave him the edge there a few times to defend. But yeah, some very, very close racing, and well done to you both for P1 and 2.
Yeah, GG's. I had a feeling I may have had a little bit more in the tank just because towards the end, every other back straight, I could see Ennis sort of not close up to me as much. So I thought it's probably just a harvest lap, or he's not close enough, therefore he's saving whatever battery he has. But man, I got so low. I thought it'd be over when I went below 10%, but only just managed to keep it.
Yeah. Well, I think definitely that safety car was the two safety cars we had in the end definitely changed the course of the race a lot. At first, I thought it would benefit the medium runners who started on mediums, so it actually was more of the opposite, I'd say. As well, the mediums were able to last a lot longer, especially with that extra safety car. I think that definitely helped with the strategy.
Well, for some.
Yeah, for some that is, yeah.
That definitely helped me. I mean, it saved my race, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of stuff. Quill, you got anything?
Not really, other than Singapore next week.
Yeah, Singapore. What do you think about that next week?
Can we do a 100% race double sim damage, please?
I think
Probably
the stream would probably end after about 15 laps.
15 laps. That's ambitious.
I've got to be. There'll be one person who will be driving around for 10 minutes on their own before they then
We have
come to
standings.
Singapore.
We have standings in a provisionally 8, with Harley's lead being cut to 3 points as Arjun closes that gap. Ennis jumps to 3rd in the standings, just 5 points off of the lead. And David, you're up to P5 already with that race win. So it's very close at the front between the front 5. So it's going to be an interesting season, I'm sure.
So it's a god. If I'm unable to race full time on Mondays, then I'll be sad. I think at the same time it'll be nice to sort of hop in when I can. It's just sort of at random.
Wait, what was next? Singapore?
Yeah,
Singapore next.
Oh, let's go. I love Singapore.
Well, that's
Probably my second favourite street circuit out of all of them.
Ooh, I guess we'll have a good battle again. I mean, I barely came up to you in this race. It was just, I don't even know if I had ERS. Was nothing. I couldn't get nothing on you, to be fair. So yeah, GG's to you.
Yes, GG's to you as well. I mean, for the medium stint for me at least, I was, I've got a bit of a cold, so I had a cup of drink next to me, which I could sip on the main straight every lap under safety car as well. And then no, I couldn't do that for the last 8 or 9 laps, however long you were just pressing me. And
what lap
mate,
was
it
it?
was so
20,
close.
the second to last one where I went on the outside, but I just couldn't get any traction on the switchback, and I think that just broke my race. To be fair, on the last lap, I made too many mistakes, way too many, and from there I couldn't do anything.
I saw the switchback. I thought, oh no, this is doomed. This is it. And I didn't really mind. I was on the hards, and you've been driving really well behind me. So I thought, if he gets past, he gets past. I'll go for a cheeky move on the last lap, but No, I don't know. It's unlucky for sure. But if it's going to be this fine margins for us, and I'm sure other people as well, then we're in for a good season, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyways, so that's probably going to be the end of the stream. One thing to note is driver of the day. Well, the votes ended, and it was an even split between you two. Both
Hey,
taking,
We'll take it. We'll take it.
there you go, nice.
yeah, you both collected 3 votes each. As Bashi really wants me to say it, Ennis is the best. So there you go.
Of course.
There you go. Tips driver of the day standings in your favour, I think.
So yeah. Thank you all for watching this race. Hopefully you enjoyed. It was a very entertaining race from our perspective. And, well, yeah, next week we will head to Singapore at the same time. So make sure you come watch that. And also make sure to tune in tomorrow and on Wednesday, where you can see F2 and F1 tackle the Shanghai International Circuit. But that's going to be all for this week. And goodbye.
Bye.